Hello.
Hi, and good afternoon. This is Lathika Pai with Microsoft. We have with us the founder of BookMe, Bob, David Thompson, one of our EmergeX winners from New Zealand. David, great to see you, and looking forward to understanding more about your journey and BookMe, Bob. So, David, what made you start BookMe, Bob?
What made me start Book with Bob LP was 3 years ago. My hotel owner in New Zealand, who's one of the biggest players, asked me to look into AI, artificial intelligence. Where is it heading? Couldn't find a great experience. But then I thought, he's a very smart man. You don't own 50 hotels around the world. And I looked into it and then came across this gentleman who did the best AI in New Zealand. We got talking over a beer, as most startups do, and told him the problem. I want something that can be customer focused, can be a booking engine, gave him a wish list. The gentleman came back, showed me the product. I went, wow. And then we partnered up. This person happens to be one of the best AI conversational people in New Zealand and Australia. And he's got strong connections to India as his homeland. And that's where the idea came from 2.5 years ago. And you look at us today, now we're in 10 different countries and growing every week.
Wow, that's amazing. So it's been a pretty interesting 12 months for all of us, right? And so how is your technology really been useful, for the hotels that are using it?
Yeah, so the hotel industry is probably the hardest industry impacted globally from Corona, and not a great time to start a business for a startup. But what's happened has been a complete 360 with the industry, in the fact that the hotel industry is made of people, the service. That's why people go stay at hotels. So they're very late adapters of technology and always traditionally have been. But Corona has forced everyone to change. And what I've brought along with BookMe Bob is a solution that is technology driven. It actually gives a great customer experience, and it's actually educating hoteliers and owners that you can use technology to move forward. I've gone from being in one country now to 13 countries. We're just about to get into South Africa as of this week, so all the way from New Zealand. So it's just been an amazing journey to do.
So looks like COVID has actually helped you, because if you were able to grow globally sitting in New Zealand, and New Zealand has truly been shut off from the rest of the world, right?
Yeah, yes, and I know this is awful, but also normally what comes out of a pandemic is under pressure is innovation, and we were forced to change, and I would just happen to be 6 months ahead of the rest of the world, and we've taken off using technology. I'm talking to countries in Europe, in South Africa, I'm in Asia, a number of countries, Philippines, Hong Kong now. That's been a hard one to break into. We're also in Indonesia, India. We're growing everywhere. The next big market for us is America.
Wow. And BookMe Bob's focus has been on automation using chatbots, correct? And it is in the right now in the travel industry, but this is a requirement that I see across many verticals. And so what are your plans?
Well, our plans off the back of probably this program, due to a couple of deep dives we've done with the unicorns, have actually shown us that we can think big, we can be big, and we've developed some new technology along the way. We've fast-tracked a new function in BookMe Bob, which is called live chat, which is where the hotel can take control of the actual AI live, and it's turning it around, and a human can control the artificial intelligence. This has then opened our thinking up into other verticals, and we're actually looking at the health industry. We've got 2 pilots underway at the moment. We're also doing hairdressing industries. We're doing any service industry we're getting into. We've got retirement homes. There's many verticals that our technology can actually work in. And the secret is that we bring a combination of great service and technology as blended, and the end result is our product BookMe Bob, or if it's going to be called something else in another industry.
No, I like the fact that you looked at a traditional industry, like you mentioned earlier. It's all about people and the human touch, right? Which is the
Yeah.
most important part. But you're using technology to kind of augment, and also, clearly in terms of cost savings, that is very, very important, especially in today's world.
Correct. And there has been some very good cost savings already come out. We have seen just in the hotel industry, and this is why it's now being adapted by owners to survive the next 12 to 18 months until the borders reopen. So phone calls with a chatbot come down 20, 30%, which then frees up the existing staff. So instead of a hotel having 2 receptionists, they can have 1. Then also the mental well-being for those staff, that are not under that much pressure, but they can do other jobs. It's just repositioning people. It's not replacing people. And that was the goal of Book Me Bob before COVID, was to free up time and to better utilise the technology that's available.
No, I think it's really, really great, that during the pandemic, you have seized the opportunity. You've been able to scale. Now, when you are talking about scale, you mentioned you're going into South Africa. How are you able to service those clients, all the way from New Zealand? Because this is going to
Yep.
be a very important
Yep.
aspect to going global, and
That's right.
clearly you've cracked it, right?
Yeah. And partly is because of your company, Microsoft, its global reach. It's very critical for us. We have 3 fundamentals, and when we look at technology, scalability, that's something Microsoft has, global scalability. Globalization, we look at, if it's a new product from Microsoft, can it be used in Russia? Can it be used everywhere? So if it can, we will use it. And we look at the human resource side of it. And what we mean by that is, if someone in South Africa is using our product, will they understand it? Can they use it there? So again, the marriage is Microsoft. You guys are like a bridge for us. People understand Excel, Microsoft Word, and then more than likely they will be using Azure. You guys provide platforms for secure cloud storage, all these key things. So that's what's enabled us to grow so rapidly.
No, that's great to hear, and I think, personally, I'm very, very excited because this clearly proves that it doesn't matter which part of the world you
Yeah.
are in. Your ability and to create world-class B2B SaaS software,
Yep.
it can come out of anywhere in the world, and that can be pushed out, right?
Correct.
So the fact that you started in New Zealand, and then you're slowly kind of, not slowly, I would say rather rapidly, covering the global footprint, is very, very exciting.
And I think why this has been enabled, I never dreamed I would be in the Microsoft marketplace 6 months ago. The program has fast-tracked us to be able to do that. And on the back of that, we've now had a couple of global chains come talk to us, 5,000, 8,000 hotels. Wow. And that's because of this program. And we owe you a lot as well, Microsoft. So you just fast-tracked us by 2 to 3 years.
Wow. No, that is exactly the intent. So, the EmergeX program, the Highway to 100 Unicorns, was really to look at emerging markets. I personally focus only on the emerging markets, and I know that there are great, great startups like yours, David. Every time I speak to one of them, I'm like, wow, this is just phenomenal, and it cannot be the best kept secret. We need to get you out there. We need to get, we need to show the world what's coming out.
Well,
And so we were really, really proud to have you as part of our EmergeX program. What are your plans for the next 12 to 24 months? Are there anything out there that you believe will hinder your
Yeah, yeah,
progress? Yeah.
there is challenges, and our biggest challenge is actually education of the markets of chatbots. So 3 years ago, the technology wasn't as good as it is today, and today chatbots are getting better and better. Our competition, and thank God there is competition, because that's what makes us move faster and better. So. And I'll give an example, just out of our deep dive from one session, was languages. We've got chatbots in France, hotels, and what's come out of it is the French language is Latin, the love language. And when you talk to a person in female, it's in a different tone to a male. How can a chatbot do that? Well, we didn't know how to do that. And then part of Microsoft's now put us in touch with the correct people of Microsoft for languaging. And we're working behind the scenes there to make the chatbot experience even better. But I think education is the key thing. That's a key challenge. No one likes talking to a robot, but then there's a generation that's been brought up with robots.
Oh,
and that's
absolutely.
all they speak to.
I completely agree with you. I think the reality is that these chatbots have to cater to the millennial, the Gen X, right? Who only want to talk to virtual beings. Great.
Yeah.
David, thank you so much for joining us today. We're really, really excited, about your journey. Like I said, just within a few months, every time I talk to you, you have grown. The numbers. It's truly very, very exciting. Good luck, and look forward to working with you closely.
Yeah, definitely. Thank you, LP. Thank you. Bye.
Bye.